welcome to Whiskey Vault Rare Whiskey Friday.
That's right.
Daniel, when we say Rare Whiskey Friday, what do we mean?
Why do you always do this?
It's not always, it's like 1 out of 5. It's fun for me.
It was the last time, too.
Oh.
Welcome to Rare Whiskey Friday, where we review whiskeys from all around the world, sent in by magnificent bastards that may or may not be available in your area. It doesn't actually mean they're expensive. It just means they might be hard to get. If you're able to get it in your area, then good on you. Well done. If you can't, then fuck you.
You nailed it! You nailed
You're
it!
welcome. Thanks to the magnificent bastard that sent it, and you're welcome for the drinking it.
Here we go. What was the first one?
This one is from Dylan Almendral. Magnificent bastard.
Dylan
Dolben?
I'm sorry, still laughing. Dylan Almendral, you magnificent bastard. I probably got the last name wrong too. I'm sorry, Dylan.
Okay.
It's just, how is that not the best? All right.
Oh.
Bourbon, and what do we know about this distillery?
So this is from California.
Blinking Owl.
My favorite. So I liked these guys from the moment I clicked on the website, just because they had this line that made me laugh. Because they are doing grain to glass, all California, trying to keep it right. This is the first line on the website. We have accomplished the neurotic goal of becoming 100% California product. That's like,
it's pretty neurotic.
I like that because it's absolutely an acknowledgement of the only people who are obsessed with that kind of idea are the people who are really neurotic about
people to be like, finally, wait, where did this glass come from?
Yeah, that's right. Has it been cleaned correctly?
Cleaned by only California water.
That's right. So I just right out of the gates, I kind of like their vibe. But this is a California company, Santa Ana, which has a whole different meaning here in Texas. This is corn, wheat, rye, and barley, 4 grain, 2-year-old bourbon.
Now, we just had a stereotypically classic bourbon.
Yeah.
This is a very different presentation of bourbon.
There is a weird fruit note on this. What is it?
You know what? This is wrong. This is wrong. This is inaccurate. I shouldn't say it. Here I go. On the nose, a lot of what's going on in this is reminding me of some Scotch.
I see what you mean, because the sweet note is butterscotch instead of caramel.
A lot, not all. It's a bourbon. Let me put this.
But
it's a bourbon, but there's some elements in here.
Replace the straight caramel with butterscotch instead of caramel, which is often a malt note. But then surround it with all the classic, like 4 grain bourbon notes.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. So I'm still just on the nose. Haven't even tasted it. But on the nose, what would be interesting, the expectation that I'm hoping for, this could be like a really nice, interesting, like fork in the road between bourbon and Scotch, maybe on the taste.
I'm getting a little bit of the wood char note.
Oh yeah, you said that, and then immediately.
Yeah.
And then it's an oily whiskey. I'm getting.
It does smell more dry.
What's much more dry than the bourbon we had.
Yeah, instead of like creamy sweet.
Yeah, and there's some brown sugar into that dry character.
There's some apples, like applesauce.
And I get that the barrel is in there too. As a bourbon barrel is in there too.
This is first impressions. Oh man, this is good.
Wow.
None of the weird faults from a craft.
Oh yeah.
None of it's grainy.
It's grainy, and it's a little low,
but not overly dry.
A little low on the proof. It's a 45% ABV.
It's not got that like tannic dryness that sort of sucks the moisture out of your mouth, but it's dry.
Yeah.
But it does have the butterscotch sweetness in the palate too.
And I'm going to say this one thing so I can say all the really good things from now on. The finish leaves me very, very quickly. The finish, it falls off a cliff. It's done.
That's where the dryness comes in for me.
Yeah, but everything leading up to that, it's like, there's like this. It didn't quite get smoky, but there's like this, I don't know, like maybe like a char character or something.
Yeah, I think that's the wood dryness that's finishing out instead of grain dry. 45.
Ooh.
Wow, for a 45, that's
there's a lot of flavors.
I think that's what the 45 is where we see the end drop off.
You know what I think?
But the flavor in the middle and the beginning is all still there.
I think the body of that flavor for me is presenting as a nuttiness combined with baking spices.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice, right?
It's pretty good. Good. I like it. No, that's a good example of a bourbon that's coloring outside the lines. Still very nice, though. Still very approachable.
Responsibly bourbon.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got 3 bottles from Kat Rajnay and Shane Jeffcoat. And Rare Whiskey Friday, we're going to go through them quickly.
Okay. Daniel, in the distance, do you hear that? Come on, Kat and Shane, what are you doing? What are you doing? Could it be?
Sure. Kat Rajnay and Shane Jeffcoat.
Cheers, you magnificent bastards!
We're messing with Kat and Shane. We've met them multiple times. We know them very well.
Yes.
Yes, thank you guys.
Ball busting among friends.
Yes.
Okay, so this is Lang's blended Scotch, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's in it, but I know that the Lang's name dates back 100+ years.
Lang's.
Right, this is like old school blended Scotch.
Okay.
New branding. Not new branding, but a newer, nice and modern and everything. But, so they're not going for like the old school Ballantines and old school, like this is closer to like the Douglas Lang look and stuff.
Yeah.
But they got 3 categories in these rounds, which is smooth and mellow, rich and refined, full and smoky.
I'll be the judge of that.
And we're going to do it in that order.
Okay.
Now, these guys are also responsible for Glengoyne, which I like.
I'm familiar with Glengoyne.
And Tamdu.
Have not heard of this. It's ice machine.
We finally got some ice over there. I was looking for it the last episode. Wasn't ready yet.
You mentioned like it's a very old name. Mm-hmm. Do you know off the top of your head if they're doing anything in the making of the whiskey that is old school, or do they just pull back from an old name?
They are still the same company that was the original. I mean, it's gone through ownership and changed hands.
Master
and
Distiller is
other
200
people,
years old.
Yeah, but it's not a distillery. These were guys who were merchant independent bottlers
like
from the
independent
beginning. Right, 1861 they started. They ran a pub in 1861 and started creating blends. So this is the first one in the line. It's called Smooth and Mellow.
It is a big old rich butterscotch.
So butterscotch.
So much
this
butterscotch. All the butterscotch.
This is Monkey Shoulders butterscotch, but without the funky malt note.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could see that.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. And it's a 43% alcohol whiskey.
These guys are also responsible. Same company. It's Ian McLeod. Right. They're also responsible for Smokehead.
Oh,
and
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Now, keep in mind, these are in the $25 to $30 range. I think these could replace my budget category in my house. That's got character.
Holy hell.
That's got body. Yeah. It's got malt richness.
It
doesn't get that sour malt funk.
It doesn't. If we're grading on the curve of, price point similar whiskeys, I don't find any faults or flaws or things that you have to be comfortable with whenever you're drinking this X bottle. This is just, you know what, Daniel? It's smooth and mellow.
It's almost like
it's smooth.
Someone thought of that.
The butterscotch is really what's going to carry you home on that.
Hey, keep track.
That is the dominant note by far.
Keep track of your glass over there because I want to be able to go back and forth between these.
Okay.
So we're moving to now what they call rich and refined, and I'm just guessing.
They didn't name any specific notes.
No, I'm just guessing that this is going to be more sherry cask.
Rich and refined.
Because the rich and refined name. I'm thinking this is more bourbon cask because of all those vanilla and caramels. Yeah. Oh, there's the funk. What is that? That was wood.
Wow.
And bacon bits. No joke. My brain just went like the budget plastic container of bacon bits you put on salad.
No, I can see
You see what I mean?
Yeah. They kind of crisped up protein.
Yeah.
You got to crisp up the protein there. And
wow, that is meaty.
Now, hold on a second. You were looking for sherry.
It's not smoky.
You were looking for sherry.
I'm not finding
sherry.
I mean, I'm looking for the funkiness from sherry.
Now, there's a funk. And it's not like an off-putting funk if you're comfortable with like crisp up protein.
This is almost savory in the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Like soy sauce and that's unique. I've not smelled anything like that.
I was not.
in a
This
blend.
is different than what I was expecting on the nose. It's not bad. On the nose, I
like
like it. Yeah,
but I don't know if I would have expected it in a whiskey. Maybe a Cobb salad. Oh, there's the sherry. There's a little bit of a phenolic peatiness to it as well.
yeah. First, I got hit by the peaty ding, and then the fruity notes from the sherry kind of peeked out from behind that.
Yeah.
It's 46%, a little bit higher in the ABV than the previous one, but
It is full-bodied.
for a 46%,
I don't know that it's rich,
it's not rich.
but it's hefty.
Yeah,
It's
there's
got
a
weight.
lot there. There's a lot there.
Interesting.
Not rich, refined. Well, is this a similar price point?
Rich and refined. Yeah, yeah.
For that price point,
yeah.
I would say, oh yeah, this is a refined. They got things going on. It's a nice presentation.
I gotta
Rich,
say,
not rich.
some point I'd love to do a comparison of all of the budget $25, $30 blends that you can
drinking your
get
water.
to be like in your category for like keep it in the house and let anybody have some.
The bitch about that is always distribution,
Yeah.
right? Because
Well, that's what I'm saying. Something that you can get anywhere, like Johnny Walker versus Chivas versus Lang's, and I don't know about Lang's.
okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Woo. Okay, that got vegetal. Like
Well, what do they call us?
this is the one that's
Full
called full and
full and
smoky.
smoky.
This got like asparagus-y vegetable.
Yeah, it did. Basically, that's the presentation of the Pete character.
Yeah.
Peating is going to present so many different ways. From campfire to like a smoked ham to like a salty brininess. This is like a vegetal, at least on the nose. We haven't tasted so far. He's tasting now.
Yeah. Now it's kind of a light smoky. This is more like the budget smoky blends I've tried before.
Less vegetal on the taste.
Yeah. This is more like,
More just campfire smoky on the nose.
what was the one that we had? Oh, Naked Grouse,
palate.
where it was like a smoky, famous grouse. And then there's another one that's kind of like a smokier blend.
Yeah.
This is more like right in line with all the smoky blends I've tried.
Yeah.
The first one was an outlier. The second one was even more of an out. This one's like, oh, yeah, okay, that's a smoky blend.
Between the three, what are you going for?
I don't know. I really want to go for the first one, actually.
But what are you going for?
I'm probably going to go for this one.
I'm going for the first one.
Yeah.
That was a really beautiful presentation of like a butterscotch.
I tell you what,
Caramel, vanilla.
I went back and tried it again.
On the first one.
I'm back to the first one. Taste the first one now.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to leave those in there because, even though it's not typically my preferred, I actually like the more smoky, but this has got the complexity that the other two have. Well, now this one, the nose is so weird. The palate is simple, but the nose is funky. This one is like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that.
Going back to the first, after you have like the campfire smoky, blah, 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 blah.
Now it's vanilla cream, hard
vanilla
candy.
cream, and then there's like a little burst of a raisin on the nose. I haven't tasted it again.
Oh, yeah. Man, I'm going to go, surprisingly, I'm going to go smooth and mellow.
Yeah, smooth and... Damn. That's just right out of the gate. Enjoyable.
Oh, yeah, I would pour that for anybody.
There's no asterisks. You don't have to be like into peat or into like savory. So it's not this universally. That one's going to be really nice. I was a little... You know what? My problem with the full and smoky, once you start getting into these flavors, the associations, the reference points that I have with peat and smoke presentations, they're not fair.
Yeah, these are echoes.
Yeah, because those I'm thinking of like the Lafroig, the Lagavulin, the Ardbeg,
Yeah.
all these things that are going to be more expensive. So it's not a fair comparison. And these are like kind of just faint whispers in that direction.
Yeah, they hint at it, but they don't really become it.
But at that price point, then maybe if you're really looking for a little fix of peat
Oh, kind of go back to that one now.
in the middle.
Yeah. Man, I'm really pleasantly surprised with all three of these, I think. But I still think that's the weakest link because of the reasons you said. Not because on its own it's weak, but because what it wants me to compare it to, it doesn't stand up to.
I would agree. Smooth and mellow, our most favorite.
Two.
Rich and refined, second most favorite. Full and smoky. But, there's nothing bad about any of them.
No.
Just like this one a lot. Like this pretty well. And just like this.
Yeah.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, a fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal your liver's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.